Okay, now since that the main shape is done, now let's focus on the roof. Now this is going to be a bit complicated. If you see from the roof, like it's kind of like the shape is very interesting and it seems to be a bit wavy and a lot of things being extruded and stuff, but we can actually do it very easy. So I'm making a copy of the original roof blocking here. So I'm just gonna select one side of it. So you see, if I actually select this side, I'm going to extract this part out. So that way we have two pieces. So I'm focusing on the left roof, and of course we're gonna duplicate and mirror over later on, but let's focus on this one first. You can see half of the rooftop is like this, and gonna delete all those extra vertices, because if not I cannot do subdivision properly. So now it's clean. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is select the edges and then just do a connect. Let's choose a number here. So I'm gonna push the number a bit more higher. That's 20 looks interesting. It's just enough tiles for us to kind of make the roof tile we needed. So 20 on vertical, and then that's lesser, 12 on horizontal. So we got this shape just nice like this. Okay, so just nice the roof tile. Now the next thing is actually how do we do the shape properly. Then if in this case I want to minimize my work, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe take 1/2 of it only, and then I'm going to extract this half up side, so only focus on one side, while the others I'll just leave it there. You can see here. So we're going to work on one half of it. In case if you see the whole roof, I was working on 1/4, then able to duplicate it afterwards. So now I'm looking at choosing one row of this, and I'm going to do an extrude. Okay, so when I extrude this one out, I'm going to rotate a bit. Okay, so when I rotate, you kind of create that little bit tile, so it depends how much you want to move it. And of course there's a little extra vertices there. There could probably be another way to make it easier, but I'm showing this so you first time modeling, you can actually have a little bit practice on a lot of things like extrude, and also target weld vertices that you don't, if you want to merge them together, you can use target weld. Quite useful too, especially to merge one vertices to another one. So you kind of stamp the first vertices to the second vertices, so it's be alright, something like that. Okay, so I'm done the first row. So this is what I'm looking at, and probably delete this one, the faces on that side, because we want to be duplicating and we want it to be hollow, so it doesn't have a vertices in between. Okay, so let's do another one. Okay, you can actually click one face and shift click the other one to select the whole row. Extrude again. So doing something. Oops. In this case, I think I turned off the snap degree, so you have to be careful about that. Okay, so rotate. Extrude after extrude, rotate. All right, get the form ready. And then, okay, done on that. Choose vertices and target weld again. Fix that one first. Now, there's a reason why we're doing 1, 2, 3 rows first, because we'll want to make a complete 1, 2, 3 rows that I can actually duplicate into the whole roof tile later on. Even we already split the workload half already, right, from the whole rooftop to just 1/4. But we can do things much faster. That maybe perhaps we do a few rows first, then we actually duplicate it out on the rooftop on top. Okay, so this one also here, probably can actually do the extrusion part. This the corner here is also a big triangle. So let's try this one. Alright, do the same thing. Extrude, Control E, extrude, then rotate big. Okay, so I'm gonna shift this out a bit so that the vertices doesn't really come too close to each other. And then of course it's kind of tricky here now. One especially when we want to target weld the vertices. In this case, vertices. So you got to be careful about selecting the wrong vertices. Then this guy's a bit extra alert when you're snapping vertices. You don't know step to the wrong place. So one by one. It's a tedious job, but that's how our modeling is. It's not gonna be easy. Definitely when if you haven't done it much, but once you practice a lot, these are very easy. Okay, so we got three rows here. Now what I'm thinking is now is that with these 3 rows here, it would be a good idea for me to duplicate up upwards, replacing the one flat, so I don't need to do all of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select, and using the a little bit slightly side view, the perspective, I'm going to choose the faces from the one I extruded and rotated. So this roof tile, that triangle roof tile I created, will be good. So this one I'm going to duplicate this set. Use the function duplicate. So I have another set of the tree. So we'll use object mode first. Okay, make the center pivot, and then you see that I'm gonna replace them. Replace just nice. So you gotta replace it exactly almost as the vertices, the lines are, so then you actually can combine them and weld the vertices later on. So I'm doing it in threes over there, something like that. So I'm missing out one only left on the top. Pretty sure it's okay, but we'll do something about that in a while. Let's go and fix this one. Okay. So now I know what I'm doing. So I'm gonna delete the polygon face on the original block below. So I should not. So you have to be careful when you choose the mesh. You right click to choose face. Okay. So I'm gonna choose the face beneath. Okay. So I don't want the side edges. Probably keep that one. So ever the polygon face is actually beneath the new roof tile that we created, we can delete them. We don't need them. Okay, so this, you see the below here, just delete. Okay, so now with this new tile, we can actually choose to combine them. Only after you combine them, we can do some target weld. Okay, vertices. So now let's look at this. Because there's certain vertices, you see that because we combine them, the different pieces, you have to merge them together. Merge to center was something you probably use. If you just wanted to move them to closer, you can kind of like select, marquee select the vertices that you want to merge. And once you do choose the merge to center one time, just press G every time you want to repeat the same actions. So marquee selecting and press G. Okay, press G will repeat the previous action, like merge to center. So I want to merge the different vertices first, that from the different object that we try to align them together. So see that you can see the vertices are all well together. Fantastic. Okay, so now double checking the vertices is not actually all combined, but of course we want to do something like this at the end, right? You'll see the side view is a bit organized work. Ours is like a bit messy in the moment. So look at details. What am I missing? So this one here on top here is the world just now the extra part. So because it's an extra part, you probably have to maybe do once, or it's okay. Doesn't have to do all. I mean, you can actually duplicate one to get a bit more variation on this one. So I kind of make this a bit different, so I don't need to actually weld it later. So like this, okay. Let's have a little bit flat square on the top, easy for us to duplicate. Okay, so now checking, I still have some vertices that I noticed that it's not well together. Okay, before we duplicate over. So those are things that we actually probably want to focus on, fixing first. But it's always double check if it's working or not. So I think this one here, I want to minimize the vertices from the side here to a bit more lesser by half into. So I'm gonna combine two vertices to form a triangle, so it's not very cluster, easier for us to connect later on. Okay, so now something like this is okay. I'm checking here. I always do the first one properly. You probably notice a little bit of double line here, so I'm only looking at the double line there already. The double lines means there's some vertices I have to fix in a while. Okay, so but let's say example this entire thing. So there's no faces on the side here. I gotta snap the vertices over here, and then I'm gonna choose the mirror option. I'm gonna choose the mirror option here. Mirror, yeah, there you go, mirror. So mirror can actually mirror the other side, and because we don't want the border to merge because it created very weird shapes. So we're not merge border. So later we have to weld yourself. Okay, once done, and get something like that. Okay, so okay, because now it's split over, the mirror is split over to the other side. It's one object. There you go. So I don't need the one on the right already. So the second quarter of the first original block probably not an issue anymore. So but I'm gonna merge the center first. So because we have this seam in the middle, so we're gonna merge. Using the merge is generic. You can choose a number. You'll merge just by yourself the vertices that close within 0.1. But now notice that the line that I mentioned just now, there's a lot of them I think fits this line, and this could be a problem. Every time you miss one step, and I'm purposely doing that because you can see what happens after that. What happened? Because we have to kind of merge them again. Okay, so there's a lot of double line here. See that it's not well together. So do a lot on this kind of this object here. So you can do just, you can choose to weld them together. So rather than target weld, merge to center is okay. Because usually corner, like tight corner, this is just under shadows that we actually don't need to worry so much. So I'm just probably gonna merge to center all of them. Not an issue. Because if you do one quarter first and you fix this problem early on, then these steps can be avoidable. But then again, I'm demonstrating certain stuff you should take notice of. It's going to be part of the modeling process, the learning curve in the future. Whenever you do modeling, there's no right and wrong in the end. I'm just like, whether is it convenient or not to do this, okay? Or is it the proper way? Whether methods, there's a lot of methods to achieve the same result. So I'm doing this. See that? Press G. Select and press G. They'll merge all them together. Okay, second row here. You notice that a little bit strange, two lines right from the preview. You probably can tell it's a problem already, that one. So I'm continuing doing this. See that? It's got issue.